Welcome to our pre-meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now in the hands of Ms. Lisa Carroll.
This is the pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, December the 3rd. We have approval of minutes from November 19th.
Any issues, anyone? Okay.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Belina Green, systemic racism against the disabled and homeless. Reggie Hill, public safety, homeless population, civic center, cyber intelligence, and OPR. Consent resolutions held over 60-11-51, determining an appropriation to Africatown Community Development Corporation serves a public purpose and approved payment. This is the one.
Yeah, I've
that
already said
we-
the proper word routing before we voted.
Okay. Resolutions held over 08-11-55, approved purchase order to Dana Safety Supply for Guerrilla Command Center vehicle storage vaults. 08-11-56, approved purchase order to eBuilder for annual renewal of eBuilder project management software. 08-11-57, approved purchase order to LexisNexis Risk Solutions for subscription to information collection and investigation software. 08-11-58, approved purchase order to Intera for subscription to Intera Operations Situational Awareness Software. 08-11-59, approved purchase order to Stuns for subscription to workflow management software. 13-11-60, authorized change order number 1 with Thompson Engineering for U.S. Highway 45 streetscape improvements. 21-11-61, authorized contract with Thompson Engineering for 2024 stormwater modeling. 21-11-62, authorized contract with Sawgrass Consulting for PAYGO resurfacing. 21-11-63, authorized contract with Dorsey & Dorsey Engineering for 2024 PAYGO resurfacing. 21-11-64, authorized contract with Thompson Engineering for 2024 PAYGO resurfacing. Consent resolutions being introduced. 09-11-65, transfer funds from District 6 discretionary account to Parks and Recreation account to assist with Christmas celebration. 37-11-66, 11-67, and 11-68 are recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a manufacturer license to Deerfish Distillant on Government Street, issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license to First Stop on Spring Hill Avenue, for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 2 license to First Stop on Spring Hill Avenue. 58-11-69, assess cost for removal of weeds, Weedling Group 76. 60-11-70, 11-71, 11-72, 11-73, and 11-74, 11-81 are determining appropriations to the Bay Area Women's Coalition, Inc., Mobile Alumni Chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi, People United to Advance the Dream, Inc., Mobile Alumni Chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi, People to Advance the Dream, and the Connie Hudson Mobile Regional Community Center Foundation serve for public purpose and approved payment.
Yes.
I just want to point out because Mr. Woods isn't here, is that consent resolution 09-1165 needs to be tabled, and it's being replaced by 60-1181. There was some confusion of how to transfer the money. At first, it looked like it was a discretionary transfer, and then it was going to go to a foundation, but because the foundation wasn't a city department, they had to reroute it. So the money that was being transferred in 09-1165 is the same money being transferred in 60-1181. So 09-1165 needs to be tabled, and the 60-1181 is what's going to be used to transfer the funds, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
CIP resolutions being introduced. 01-1175, Authorize agreement with WAS Design for Crawford Murphy Park splash pad, parking lot, and lighting, $76,725. 011176, authorize agreement with J. Payne Organization for Spring Hill Recreation Center stage and classroom improvements, $256,200.
Question.
Ms. Carroll.
We're moving forward with the design for the splash pad at Crawford Park, but is this going to get caught up in the in capital projects moving forward for the whatever year this is, based on capital expenditures and debt service that we have? Because all of this money for the construction doesn't come out of my CIP. So my question is does this project get caught up after it's designed, meaning stopped? Because it's a $500,000 project, and I don't have a $500,000 splash pad in my CIP for that year. I looked last night.
Okay, I will need to check that because I thought we had that in your CIP already.
It's not enough.
Okay.
Resolutions being introduced 081177, approved purchase order to Super Better LLC for subscription for software for public safety projects, Safe Neighborhoods, $20,700.
Mr. President, I'd ask we take this one by consent. Which one? 081177. $20,000.
Fine with me, y'all good?
No, I think I want to hold that up for a week.
I think I'm going to see that.
091182, transfer funds from unassigned fund balance in the general fund to CIP fund for civic center demo and construction, $1,344,375.50.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Reynolds.
I'd like to hear from the administration on this one. If y'all could just explain for general public's sake what this is.
So once we got into doing the Civic Center, there were a couple of things that came up. One of them is that when they did the geotech survey around the theater area, it required that we would have to surcharge it, or in other words, pack dirt on top of it to compress that soil. We decided to proceed with that. That was probably about $750,000 to do that. We decided to award it to the demolition contractor rather than the construction contractor because it has to sit for 90 days. In order for us to keep on schedule, we had to move it forward for the demolition contract. The other thing that we ran into was on the exterior, as they began the demo of the arena, right where the support columns come up, the material used to seal that between that and the subwall was had asbestos in it. And so that asbestos removal was not anticipated in the original bid. The other thing was the removal of the mosaics is requiring a hand removal. We had no real reference. We just kind of parked $1 million for the removal. It's going to cost probably closer to 1.5 million to remove them, but we do think it will be less than $1 million to reinstall them. So it's about 1.5 million to the original, roughly 4.5. We're still $2 million under the $8 million that was budgeted for the demolition of the arena, the Civic Center. So originally we allocated 8 million. Original bid came in at 4.5. We're adding 1.5 to it. 750,000 of it would have been paid at a later date anyway on the construction side. So we're still $2 million under the original budgeted amount of 8 million. Sam, did I cover that? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay, Madam Clerk.
Call for public hearings. 411178, call for public hearing to consider rezoning for property located at 5301 Moffett Road from B2 to B3, scheduled January 7th. 411179, call for public hearing to consider the application of Salute Med Trans LLC to operate a non-emergency medical transport service scheduled December 17th, 2024. 411180, call for public hearing to consider assenting to the vacation of a portion of an alley adjacent to property located at Dolphin Heights and Upham Street, scheduled December 17th. Announcements.
Council.
Mr. President,
Mr. Day.
we have next week a finance committee meeting scheduled at 2:30 PM, and there's been some thought that we might move this ahead to 1 o'clock PM. If that's okay with the council, Mr. Collins, would that be okay with you? The purpose of the meeting is to, once again, look at the financing for the new arena. But as long as we're going to be here, we might also at that time, Chief, get just a general update as to the project. Okay? So we'd look at a general update as to the project, the timeline. Does the timeline still look good? And then also an update on the financing for the project. So next week at 1:00. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. Reynolds.
on this application of Salute MedTrans, if y'all recall, we had quite the discussion, I don't know, a year or so ago when we added, was this a similar service to what we added with Lifeguard? It's not. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else from the council? Anything from the administration? All right, we'll see each other at 10:30.
Look, it's good.